18, was that right?
Yep, that's correct.
And for those of us who've been in the store, lots of cameras, tripods, lenses, equipment bags, even film, even some darkroom equipment if you're still doing that sort of thing. And there are lots of services that the store offers that we might learn about tonight. And of course, the classes and exhibitions that are held throughout the year. It's really a great resource for photographers in Philadelphia. And the staff, very knowledgeable, also very friendly, and they're led by our presenter tonight, Chris Fascenelli, who's the manager of that location. And we're doing something a little different tonight, kind of going on location by Zoom. So we're
Yep.
very excited for that. And thank you for being with us tonight, Chris.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be presenting in one of our longest running societies in America. It's very cool. So thank you so much for the invite. Show of hands, how many of you have been to the store before here in Old City? Oh wow, a whole bunch of you. That's great. Well, what I wanted to do is give you a little bit of a history lesson to start, and then I'm going to give you a tour of the location. And as I go through, I'm going to talk about a lot of the services and things that we offer. Right now, you're coming to me from a very fun webcam device that will follow me pretty much wherever I go. I'll show it to you kind of at the end. It's a DJI Osmo Mobile or Pocket, I'm sorry. Um, I was on the call with Billy Kyle a couple months back, and he went over a lot of the DJI products. We sell those here, so I'm hopefully you can hear me and you could see all the pores in my face where the cat scratched me the other day.
Beautiful.
But if you can't hear me anytime, just like give me a wave. So let's start with a brief history lesson. So Unique Photo's been around nearly 80 years. We started in Brooklyn as a photography studio from Bernard Sweetwood, who was our first owner, and his sister. He heard that Macy's in Manhattan was looking to distribute Kodak film, cameras, and accessories, but were having problems finding a distributor. So he took out a handshake loan of $35,000 in 1947 and bought up as much Kodak as he possibly could and became the leading distributor of Kodak in Manhattan. And from there, because of the success and how much money they made, they opened up a small retail operation in Hoboken, New Jersey, which was the Hoboken Camera Center. They moved over there about 2 years after that. Had a lot of success in retail operation, opened up a lot of small stores. They were in stores like Modell's. Um, Bernard got married to Harriet, and Harriet Sweetwood became the mother of all camera stores. She often manned the front counter and became kind of like the face of the company along with Bernard. Um, and they had a lot of huge success. They had to expand over time. Um, there was a fire that actually destroyed Hoboken Camera Center, and they had to kind of rethink their business model around 1964. Um, and a couple of years after that, they opened up a small wholesaling operation in Kearney, New Jersey, under the name Unique Photo, which is where we get our name. They had a massive amount of success over the years. The company moved down a generation to brothers Jonathan and Matt Sweetwood. Company continued to grow. They moved to Florham Park to a larger facility. And then in 2008, they moved to Fairfield, New Jersey, where they reside now. That was probably a little over 15 years ago. Has anyone been to our Fairfield store? Ah, one. So very, very different shop. It's run currently by the Sweetwood brothers. It's moved down a generation to Alexander and Jack. Jonathan's still the owner of the company. They bought a controlling stake from brother Matthew and now run the company in the day-to-day operations. And then in late October of 2017, I joined the company. That's where I kind of step into the picture. On my first day, they announced that they were opening up a store here in Philadelphia, where I had previously lived for 8 years, where my girlfriend, now wife, lived, where all my photo connections were, and I proceeded to annoy the heck out of the higher ups into giving me a job. I really pushed my foot in the door there. Um, and, over the course of a year or so, I became the boots on the ground in Philadelphia, kind of talking up the store in social settings, in meetups. And I kind of worked remotely from my apartment in like phone sales. And then I got the job as the store manager, and we opened up here the 28th of October, 2019. And the rest is history. There's been a lot of ups and downs. We beat a pandemic. There was, a lot of rough times in there. We ended up having our grand opening 2 years after we opened up, which was a huge success. And um, now that I've gotten the history lesson down, I'm going to start with a tour of the building. Right now, we are on the fourth floor of Unique Photo. We own the entire building. We have all 4 floors. On the fourth floor, it is a classroom, and also, I'm going to tilt this down. You see a little bit more on my forehead there. It's a classroom space, and it's also a gallery. So right now, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see. So right now we have a pinhole gallery up on our fourth floor here. And this is a group that is from all over the country, some folks outside of the country. We have submissions from Australia, and they submit once a year, and we hold a big show for them every year. If you're interested in submitting for next year, if you like pinhole photography, or you want to learn how to do it, hit me up in the chat and I can get you connected with that group. But it's a beautiful body of work. It actually extends below us. Like I was saying before, this also doubles as a classroom space, and it's also a rentable studio space. People can come in if they want to do a shoot here and use it. It's sponsored by Westcott Lighting. So if you want, you can actually take out free Westcott lighting and do a shoot here. It's pretty cool. Um, we could fit probably, I would say like a little over 100 people in this space. It goes pretty far. It's also has a skylight, which is above me. It's blocked off right now. So if you want a natural light studio, you do have that here. And here's some of the beautiful work. When I flip this camera around, everyone can hear me all right still?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna start moving through the store. We're gonna hit the stairwell here, and I'm gonna do a little walking. Hopefully, I can walk and talk and not fall down the stairs. So we're gonna flip it around. Hello again. Moving along. Some of the work is up in the halls. I'm going to talk a little bit quieter because right now, Todd is teaching the Understanding Your Camera course, and he said it would be okay if I stepped in and said hello. How to say hi to everyone in the class. Hello, everyone. Todd teaches this class every month. It's Understanding Your Camera, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Todd says bye. And the gallery that I was talking about also extends over onto this floor. So we had hundreds of submissions for the gallery. We also host galleries throughout the year. People usually pitch Todd almost a year in advance to have their work shown. We have, a lot of submissions throughout the year. This is my office. There's lots of chairs in here because we just had an event, and I kind of housed everybody, all the models and stuff, as part of our posing and lighting tutorial. It was a 2-day event. Michael was there, um, where people could take classes for only $10 each. And flip around my face again so you guys have something to look at. The classes were only $10 each to sign up. They get a $10 token when you check in, which you can use to spend in store. So it's essentially free. Um, let's see. Can I open the door? I can. All right. Now we've made it to our second floor. Um, our second floor is part of our retail. Um, sell over 200,000 products here at Unique Photo. In the second floor, we have lightings, we have backgrounds, we have grip, we have light stands. In that area, we have kind of like straps and accessories, small accessories. Our big wall of bags. If you need a bag, boy, do we have them. We sell a number of different brands. Peak Design, Wandered, which is a bag that I have. I have this guy down at the bottom here. We also sell Peter McKinnon, if you've ever used their filters or some of their other little lenses. Peter McKinnon makes really great bags. I personally have owned a number of Temba bags. Temba is a really good brand, super rugged. Same thing with Think Tank and Mind Shift. If you're traveling, those are really good bags. They make really good rolly bags. They make really good deep bags. We also sell tripods and monopods. We carry a couple different brands: Benro, Ray, Small Rig, three-legged thing, a whole bunch of them. Some of them are on display. You could see here. These are Benro tripods for the most part. Benro, in my opinion, is probably the best type of tripod that we offer. They have video tripods. They have photography tripods. And what type of thing you're shooting, there's a specific tripod for that type of thing. So they have all different ranges and prices. We also have a whole lighting section. This is our corner for lighting. We sell constant lights as well as strobe and flashes. Um, we just set up this nice lighting display. Zach, our rentals manager, set this up, and it kind of runs the whole day. Um, it's mostly nan light lights. These are these Pavo tubes here. Right now we have them on kind of a rotating hue. So if you're looking to add some color to some of your shoots or some of your photos, these come in a variety of different sizes. So this one on the left here is, I think, about 4 feet long. There's a 2 foot one. There's a 6 inch one. You know, they have a whole bunch of different sizes. These are mostly just boxes. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of boxes, but that's where we keep most of our lights. We also have grip accessories. So if you need a small pin or a screw for a tripod or a leg or something like that, we got you covered. Um, some of the lighting brands that we carry in the strobe department are Westcott and Profoto. We also carry Godox as well. This is where we keep those here. Westcott has been very supportive of our store over the last couple of years. Like I said, they have sponsored our gallery in our studio. So they have a number of really great lights from kind of like basic on camera lights to a full studio output. And we carry all of them. We also have accessories for those lights here in the corner here, as well as Magmon. If you've ever heard of Magmon, they're really good for flashes. So if you have like an on-camera flash and you want to attach an accessory, they have this little grip piece that's on that box right there, and that's going to go on top of the flash. And then every one of these accessories has a built-in magnet to it that'll connect it to it, and you can customize your look in an instant just by pulling it off. It's very cool. I have those for mine. They're really great if you like shooting events. Um, Maybe you're getting into wedding photography. Who knows? This is our rentals department. We have a couple of full-time staff here for the rentals department. Um, we offer a variety of rental services. I actually wanted to pull up our website for just a quick second. Let's see if this follows me. I believe I can share my screen. Let me just pull that up real fast. Now, if anyone has any questions, just chime in. Don't be shy. Uh,
Um, Chris, John Benino has a question about, he says he would love to know about the pinhole group.
Sure. So what you could do is, John, just comment in the comment section, and I'll get you connected with them. Um, from what I shared with you, that's really the kind of the extent, the basics on there. The rest is getting you contacted with them so that you can start submitting. The next time we just had it up, so the next time that we're going to do it is in about a year from now. But still, get involved. They will kind of teach you if you need to. We also sell pinhole supplies here. Holga makes a little pinhole camera, so if you want to make a little pinhole inside of a camera, we sell the supplies to do that here, which is great. Um, let's see if I can share my screen. Let's see. Share. There we go. Share. Chrome. Okay. Share. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So this is our rentals page. Our rentals department, everything is set up through this page. So you just go to uniquephoto.com and you click on the tab that says rentals here. And from there, you're going to see a category by category breakdown of everything that we rent out. Cameras, all the full list of cameras. If you want to shoot some video, maybe you need a cinema camera or a camcorder, we have those too. Everything is a la carte. When I say that, I mean that pretty much nothing is a kit. So you would have to rent lenses individually. So say you have a Canon camera and you have a Canon R5. There's Canon lenses for the RF mount, and you could see the full breakdown of all the things that we rent out. Here's the pricing structure. It actually drops down pretty significantly in this 2 to 6 day range, and even a little bit more in the 7+ range. There's a deposit, which is half of your MSRP. So, say it's a $300 lens, then you're going to deposit 150, but you get that back as long as you don't break it, lose it, or anything bad happens to it. We'll make sure that that gets back in your hands once you return it. So we also rent things like uh, monitors. We also rent things like drones. So if you had a good time listening to Mr. Kyle a few months back and you want to use some of that knowledge that he bestowed upon you, we have a drone that you can rent and you can kind of test out maybe some of that stuff. We also do classes on drones. Unique Photo does a really good job of providing back to the people who want to learn. Our motto is create better pictures, and we do offer drone classes throughout the year. We can also set up a personalized one-on-one drone class with Michael Downey. He does a lot of our educational programs over at our Fairfield location and is a certified drone pilot. So we can always set that up if anyone's interested. They can also comment back in the comment section. We rent mics. So if you want to improve, if you're starting to shoot video and you want to improve your sound, say you want to make those pictures look better. Oh boy, do we have a lot of lighting. We offer a lot of continuous lighting. We also offer strobe and speed lights. Some of the brands on here, everything should be up to date. If you're going to shoot off camera, make sure you take a look at our transmitters and receivers section. That way you can trigger those lights. Moving along, I can't actually see the side, but it does say grip over here just because my little zoom. Oh, there we go. So there's stands, booms, flags. These are all things that are going to kind of lock down your lights, hold up your background, and things like that. Okay, I'm just going to acknowledge that. I also wanted to show you guys more about that unique university section. So if you ever want to know more about classes in Philly, all you got to do is go to our website and go to the university tab, and there's a section for classes in Philly, and that's the page that we're on now. Some of the things that you'll see on here are the Understanding Your Camera course, which we were just in upstairs. Todd teaches that, like I was saying, once a month. It's a 3-part course. So if you're looking to maybe build upon the basics, sharpen up the basics, that's a great set of classes. We offer all 3 every month, either in the morning from 11 to 1 or in the evening from 6:30 to 9:30. It does go on Tuesdays, and I know you guys have these meetings every month, but maybe there's something that we can work out if we can get a bunch of you in there. Those classes, if you get them individually, are $49, but you can get a bundle for $99 for all three. It looks like we also have a wildlife class coming up. It looks like it's a master class. This was just announced recently. Um, Bobby Stormer is part of our media team over at our Fairfield store. He is a fantastic wildlife photographer. Um, all of these photos in here are ones that he took. He is outstanding. He's taught a number of classes with us, kind of like basic ones where they start here in Philadelphia, and then there's other ones where they go down to Cape May and they photograph out in the wild. So there's a lot of opportunities not only to get some education here in Philadelphia, but to go on further than that. So this is one that's looks like it's coming up for about $100, and that's on Saturday, May 10th here in Philadelphia. So if you're interested, you can log in on the website and hit this page. Definitely check it out. That's a really good one that's coming up. Some more about our our educational programs. I wanted to show you our social media page. So there, we every time we do an event, we post some sort of recap. There's a whole bunch of content going back years on here about all of the cool events that we've been doing since we opened up here in Philadelphia, and also the ones over in Fairfield. So if you're willing to make the trip, there definitely is a lot of amazing classes that are offered up in our Fairfield store. I encourage you to watch some of these videos, the recaps. They also usually put out testing videos for new products. So this one, they were testing out the new
Oh
Sigma
my,
BF. Was there a question there?
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I was trying to figure out how to get this on my computer instead of my phone, but ignore me in the meantime.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me
I'll
know if
mute
you got.
myself.
Okay. So in this video here, they're testing out the new Sigma BF. Sigma is really more of a lens brand. They only have a couple of cameras, and they recently came out with a new one called the BF, which their CEO has dubbed Beautifully Foolish because its design is very simple. It kind of looks like a hard drive, if you know what a hard drive looks like, where you would store your photos. It's very like sleek and metal. So they went out and they tested this new camera and some new lenses out in the wilderness there. So I invite you guys to come check us out. I'm going to put this, sorry, in the comments section so you guys can find it on the Zoom call. Wait, let's maximize this and chat. I'm going to toss that in there. That way you can see all the fun stuff that we've done. And also, you can get a better understanding of the past classes that we've offered. Um, they really, we really love to push education over here at Unique Photo. So definitely go and check that out. So we've covered our rentals. We've covered some of our Unique Photo, Unique University stuff. I'm going to flip it back to my face and stop sharing. Where is stop sharing? Now let's see. Video. Oh, can we see me now, or are we still sharing?
Still sharing right now.
Still sharing. Oh, stop. Oh, stop sharing. Let's see. Stop share. There we go. There I
There you
am.
go.
All right, back to my face, where you guys have been waiting for. All right, so we're gonna move it along. I'm gonna go down the front of the store. Actually, you know what? Back of the store is better because I could talk about some more of our services. Um, so we got a nice mural over here. It's cool. It says "Great Better Pictures." Um,
Oh, no.
Yeah, we just lost you.
Okay.
Earth calling Chris.
Moving along. So, one of the things that is great about having a building with 4 floors is there's an elevator. So if you come to our store and you don't want to walk up all those stairs that I just walked down, we could just send you right up to the elevator. So we're gonna flip this around again. Now we're on the first floor. So a big thing here at Unique Photo is our photo lab services. So if you come to this desk, you can drop off film to be developed or scanned. If you have old photos that you need restored, we do that here too. Our lab is on the basement level. I'm not going to bring you guys down there, even though it is super clean. I was so impressed today when I came down. It looked fantastic, like it was the first day it opened. Um, but we develop C41 film here. We develop black and white as well as slide film. So if you're still shooting film, I commend you, and it's a wonderful thing. Keep doing it. We can take care of that for you. All you have to do is come in and fill out one of these sheets on the table here, and we'll walk you through the process. We can do pretty much anything. So that's our lab services. We also have archival stuff. If you have some printing that you want to do, or you want to store some negatives that you've found in an old shoebox, we certainly have those here. We carry print file, which is like the leading archival preservers. So if you have old photos that you want to, keep fresh, we have those. We also have binders that close, so they won't get dusty. We're a big distributor of Hanemule paper. Hanemule is fine art paper. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. There we go. Is fine art paper. They come in a variety of different types of textures and finishes, just about 20. We have some booklets here in the store so you can actually see and feel what they look like. So if you're doing some digital printing on a printer, we have the best paper that you can get for it. They also do make a darkroom paper, but the biggest darkroom folks are going to be Ilford. We're one of the largest distributors of Ilford paper, film, and chemistry in the country. We're actually the largest film distributor in the country. We sell a lot of different types of chemicals so you can develop your film and fix it and stop bath. We carry Rodinol, we carry Kodak chemistry, which is still around. Even though there were reports of their demise in the last year, they're still going strong. We also carry kind of a Legacy Pro, which is basically Kodak chemistry, but in a little bit of a cheaper packaging. So if you want to uh, if you have your own darkroom, we have all of the supplies that you possibly could need, so you can make that a reality for you. We also have this nice enlarger for sale, the 23C Bessler enlarger. So if you're interested, hit me up afterward because we're looking to sell that one. So here, yeah, we have all those supplies. I'm going to move it along to our uh, Canon section here. Uh,
Temporarily, we lost Chris.
a sense of what each of them are going to offer. I'm going to talk briefly about a couple of different ones. Can everyone hear me all right, even though I'm a little further away?
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
just so you
Yes.
just blanked out for about 30 seconds.
Ah,
And
okay.
then it happened like a few minutes before that, but for a shorter time. So
Okay. If I ever blank out, I couldn't hear you guys say anything, so just make sure that you say something so I know that that you can't hear me. Can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So basically, what I was talking about was that we have paper and chemistry, one of the largest distributors of that. If you need stuff for the dark room, we have all of those supplies so that if you want to set up your own dark room, we also have an enlarger for sale. So if you're interested in purchasing a Bessler 23C, we do have that for sale. Are we caught up now? Did I repeat myself a little bit? Just a little bit. Okay, well, good. Well, it's better to be thorough. So I thought I'd go over some of the Canon stuff here. We carry all of Canon's EF and RF. The EF line, the older EOS DSLRs, are pretty much all extinct at this point. What all the manufacturers did is they've gone away DSLRs, which is a digital single lens reflex, and they've moved on to mirrorless cameras. Show of hands, who knows what a mirrorless camera is? Okay, good. So about half the group, that's great. So uh, mirrorless cameras in a DSLR, the light went through the lens, it hit a mirror, bounced off a bunch of little mirrors in the viewfinder, and you saw the light reflected through the lens. In a mirrorless camera, they have taken out the mirror, and there's just the sensor there. So the light is going through the lens, it's hitting the sensor, and what you're seeing in the viewfinder is a digital image. There's a lot of benefits to that. First and foremost being is that the lens is closer to the sensor, and therefore the light is traveling less distance, so you're getting more out of your resolution because the light won't degrade over the distance. It also will cover more of the sensor. If you're using a DSLR from maybe, 10 years ago, you maybe had 11 autofocus points. In this one, there's hundreds, almost 1,000. So what that can do is it can track subjects better. So the autofocusing is more sticky. It also does things like eye detection. So if you're taking a picture of a person, it's going to put a little box around their eye, and it'll track their eyes. So even if they were to move back or move forward, kind of like I'm doing now, it'll adjust to that and it'll keep the focus tack sharp. That also makes it a little bit easier to shoot video because the mirror doesn't have to come up. They really have made these cameras more hybrid than anything else. So even on their, beginners models, they have really good high quality video. So if you're looking to learn that, you don't have to spend so much money to at least, get you going. If you really want to do that, get an R6 Mark II, which is a great hybrid camera. Get an R5C, which is their cinema kind of higher megapixel camera, or maybe one of the cinema cameras on the other side over there. So some of the models that are good to start with are the Canon R50, which is this little guy here. What they wanted to do with mirrorless cameras was make them smaller and lighter and easier to travel with. So as you can see, this is a pretty tiny camera, but it still has a nice fully articulating screen. It still has a pop-up flash, and it actually has a lot of the technology that's in their bigger flagship stuff. But if you're looking for something that's small, this package here starts about $750. If you buy just body only, it's between 5 and 6 maybe. There's also a lot of rebates going on. If you're interested in buying a camera, because of the tariffs, prices are going to go up. So if you're interested, now might be the time to come in and take a look and see if there's a good fit for you. I've been told by a lot of our manufacturers at our event in the beginning of the month that prices are definitely going to go up. So if you're interested, definitely come check it out. From there, they have the R10 and the R7. I would consider those prosumer level models. Maybe I'm a consumer and maybe photography is just a hobby. Maybe I'm getting a little bit more serious about it. So this is one that you could start to use maybe to make a little bit of money with it. Maybe it has more features and upgrades. It has a bigger body style. a bigger grip. So if you have bigger hands, it's a little bit easier to hold. There's more custom function buttons for you to set different features to do different things. And from there, you move up into the R5 and the R6. R6 is going to be your lower megapixel, your 24 megapixel. You're good for hybrid shooting. It's great for photo. It's also great for video. And then you have the R5 II, which is the version they're on now. The R5 is your higher resolution camera. So if you want to print really big, if you like to crop in on your images, if you want the richest, highest resolution, this would be the camera for you. It comes with a prettier price tag. It's around $4 grand. So if you have the money, this is a fantastic camera. They also have the R3 and the R1. In my opinion, and none of you work for Canon, right? There's not a lot differentiating these two cameras from each other, but one of them is significantly more. They basically came out with this one around the time of the Olympics to compete and hope that a lot of people were going to buy it. But it's not really a huge step up from the R3. What's great about these cameras, though, is that they have a built-in battery grip. So on the bottom here, there's a battery, a big long battery. So the battery life is significantly longer. It's also a lot easier to shoot vertically because you actually have a hand grip on the side here. The ergonomics are really great on these cameras because all of the buttons that are here when you're holding it vertically are the same ones when you're holding it horizontally. These are really good cameras if you're shooting the news or sports or racing, things like that. Or if you're birding, this is actually a really good birding camera too, because birds move quite fast and the autofocus on this is fantastic. Canon has a line of lenses that are nearly 25 now. 25 different lenses that you can get. They're all fantastic, even the lower end stuff. There's two really different levels of Canon lenses. The first ones are kind of the ones that I had on the kit lens here. They're your basic lenses. They usually don't have as wide of apertures. They're maybe not as sharp as the higher end stuff, which would be their L series lenses. If you ever see a red ring on a Canon lens, that means it's a luxury lens. That's what the L stands for, luxury, because they are the sharper. So we have a whole bunch in the case over here. It's going to keep tracking my face, so unless I move over here, I can't show you. But we have a whole bunch of them. They have wider apertures. They're incredibly sharp, but they're often a little bit bigger. That's the one thing that Canon, I think, can work on, is having a little bit of smaller lenses. That is Canon in a nutshell. Unless anyone has any Canon specific questions, I'm going to move it along to the next section to get us going.
I do have a quick question. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
For those smaller entry level mirrorless cameras, I was curious. Are they crop sensor?
Yes. So the R50, R100, R10, and R7 are all crop bodies. What a crop body is it's an APS-C style sensor. It's on Canon 1.6 times smaller, and everyone else it's 1.5. I don't know why Canon is so special, but they do 1.6, and it's 1.6 times smaller than that of a full frame 35 millimeter size sensor, basically, which is good for a lot of reasons, especially if you're shooting stuff far away, because you get that extra push on your lenses. So on 100 millimeter becomes 160 millimeters. You get that extra push. So there's a lot of benefits to shooting crop, but a lot of the full frame ones have a digital crop, so you can actually go into the settings and make your full frame sensor a crop frame sensor. So you get like kind of a digital push in. You do lose a little bit of the sensor there, so your resolution is lower. But there are benefits to that. That way you don't have to have two different bodies to accomplish different things. Any other questions about Canon? Good question, Janaris. All right, I'm gonna move it along. Behind me over here is our Sigma lenses. Sigma is, we were talking about them before with their new BF body. I don't have it on display here yet because it's very new and actually quite popular. But behind me over here, I do have a number of their lenses. This isn't even a third of them. I have a whole warehouse section that I've had to expand multiple times because Sigma is just cranking out lenses. Especially if you're a Sony shooter, they have the biggest map of Sony lenses outside of Sony's brand. They're also have two different kind of categories, really. Contemporary lenses, which are kind of your more basic lenses, but still very good, and also their art series, which is similar to Canon's L line. It's their sharper, better, faster lenses. Sigma makes lenses for some Canon RF lenses. I believe they have about 3 out right now. Canon didn't want them to have the rights to the RF mount for a little while so they could sell their roadmap of lenses, but just recently in the last year started making some lenses. They have a lot of Nikon Z lenses, which is the new mirrorless for Nikon, Sony, like I said, and Panasonic L mount. There's also Panasonic's Micro Four Thirds. So if you're shooting Olympus or Panasonic Micro Four Thirds, there's a number of selections there as well. They've kind of gone away with the older EF and FX mounts from Canon and Nikon. They're not actively making those anymore, but that's not to say that you can't find those used. We do have a large used section, which I'm going to go over in just a little bit. But Sigma makes really great glass. If you're looking for a nice small prime for a crop camera, I wouldn't look any further than Sigma. They're fantastic. Sigma's nice and quick. I don't spend too much time on them. So I'm going to move it along. And I'm going to talk very briefly about our audio section. So we carry a wide variety of audio accessories. If I wanted to, I could attach a mic and connect it to the device that I'm shooting this presentation with, and it would seamlessly transmit the audio from that mic into here, and you would hear me crystal clear. I didn't want to complicate things today by adding something else, but there is the opportunity. We carry about a dozen different lighting brands between Hollyland, Zoom, Rode, Sennheiser, Samsung, and a number of others. If you are looking to start a podcast or maybe do some interviews with people, or you just like singing in your living room, we've got everything. We have a whole Rode section here. Rode's probably our leading sound and audio source. So if you're looking for any kind of mic, they certainly make mics for every type of situation. I don't want to spend too much time on audio, but we do have a wide variety. And if anyone has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer those as well. I spoke a little bit earlier about DJI. DJI is the leading drone distributor here in the United States. They've been having a little bit of problems with the new administration on whether or not you're going to be able to keep flying those drones, just because DJI is a Chinese company, but they're actively fighting it. I don't know. I don't know why it's continuing on, but the drones are fantastic. If you want from the most basic drone to a cinema style drone, we have all different types, and I'm going to show you a couple of models that I know Billy talked about. So I'm going to set you guys down on the counter here. Can everyone hear me still?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, like I was saying, they have all different types of drones. This is the DJI Neo. It is the smallest one on the map right now. This doesn't record audio, but it does record really good video. It's as easy as starting it by pressing the button and it'll turn on. I'm not going to do it because it is so loud. For such a small drone, it has a very high pitch whine, which is probably why it doesn't record audio. But it does a great job of following you. So if you're doing content maybe out in the wilderness. Maybe you like to ride bikes and you want to record, your rides or something like that. This is a great little drone that has avoidance. It also has really good propeller guard, so if it crashes, it's not going to break very easily. It's a fantastic drone. It's not going to shoot 4K video, but it comes pretty close. For reference, the video that is coming out of this right now is 2K. So it's not quite 4K, but I think that I look pretty clear. Um, they keep going up from there. There's a couple of different Mavic drones. There's mini versions. There's the full size versions. The full size versions have, so this is actually the Air. So this would technically be one of their smaller ones. Sorry if you couldn't see that. It does have two different lenses. So if you're trying to move from maybe a wider look or more zoomed look, there is the opportunity for that. Same thing, maybe one of their bigger guys here. This one is the Mavic 3 Pro. This is their highest end drone right now. Like I said before, if you're interested in learning how to fly a drone, we do offer a number of classes. DJI's apps are also very easy to use when you first start them up in your phone, or if you're using a controller. It actually gives you a tutorial and it walks you through basically all of the functions and all of the menu systems. So if you really want to learn, it's not as hard as you think. If you're going to be flying maybe one of the bigger ones like this, I would look into getting your drone license. There's a lot of rules that Billy went over, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to fly somewhere where you're not supposed to be. So make sure you're being safe if you are going to operate these. They have 3 lenses on here. This is going to keep following me, so I'm going to try to put it right in front of my face. So if you want to change your looks, there's lots of opportunities. DJI actually owns Hasselblad. If you're familiar with Hasselblad, it is one of the best cameras that you can possibly get. So all of DJI's lenses have Hasselblad lenses, which are pretty cool. So they're incredibly sharp. I'm going to put this down over here and I'll put it away later. That way you guys don't have to watch me put that away. They also make a lot of smaller accessories. I was going to put this presentation on my phone and then put it on a gimbal, but I couldn't get the app to work because DJI took it off of Android, and I'm one of those people that has Android. But this is a phone gimbal. A gimbal is basically a stabilizer device for video. I'm shooting this presentation on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is a gimbal basically, but it has a camera built into it. So what I would do is I would attach my phone to here, and as I move, it would stay in the same place. And I can easily flip the screen forward and backward like I've been doing throughout this presentation. This is called the Osmo Mobile. This is the version 6. It has a very nice telescoping handle here. So if you really want to shoot stuff wide angle, you certainly can. If you're trying to get those big selfie shots, these are really great for travel. So if you go somewhere like Disneyland and you really want to get the park around you or something like that, this is the perfect thing for that. I got this for my sister and she uses a lot to take little videos of her kids. It's really easy to use. It has a nice little joystick on the front so you can move the camera around and you can control your record. If you want to take pictures, it's the same button. And it can also, there's a little trigger on the back here. So if you want to flip the camera around or turn it from horizontal to vertical, it's just a click of the button basically. Very fun little tool called the Osmo Mobile. DJI also makes, have you ever heard of a GoPro? DJI made their own called the Action, which is arguably way better than GoPro. GoPro stopped selling in retail stores a couple of years ago. So if you are maybe going skiing and you want to take some video while you're skiing, I got one of these for my in-laws when they were taking a trip out Salt Lake and out west, and they took it on a ski trip in the mountains. They were being pulled by a bunch of dogs in a sled, and they sent me videos from this, and they looked fantastic, and I could hear them crystal clear. And they said that they really loved it. There's a couple different versions of this one. There's an adventure one, which actually has a kind of a longer body and a screen so you could see yourself on the front. So if you want to do selfies with it, you can also tell it voice commands. So say, you can program it to say, take my picture, and it'll actually take your picture without pressing any buttons. So it's a fun little action camera, as they call it. DJI also makes a number of microphones. I have different variations of kind of the same ones here. They're little microphones that you could put on your collar. You can also attach a lavalier microphone, which is kind of, if you ever see anyone mic'd up for an event, they're the little like lapel mics, basically. So you can plug them in into here and then put that on your belt, and then you have a more focused sound source on your collar here. These are great because they're wireless. So all you have to do is connect to either device, like the one that I'm using now. I can actually very seamlessly attach this by just going in the settings and say add microphone, and it'll find it and it'll add it. It's very simple. Or say I have a camera and I wanted to put it on the top of my camera. I could put it on the hot shoe where like a flash would go, and it'll tell me all the audio signals. All I have to do is connect it through the output on the side, through the microphone jack on the camera. And now I have really good high quality sound. If you watch content on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers are using these DJI mics. They're really, really good mics. They come in a variety of different sizes. The most recent one, I wish I had it, but we're all sold out, is a mic mini. It's about this small. It's tiny. It's just a little button, and it sits on here, and it's held up by a magnet. It's fantastic. Um, that's pretty much all of DJI. Does anyone have any questions about drones or any of the accessories? I'm getting a couple of shake heads now. Okay, cool. Then I'll leave that there. The next section that we're going to go through is Nikon. Real quick, how am I doing on time? What time am I supposed to be done?
You're getting there, but keep on going.
Okay, cool. You tell me when I gotta stop talking. I only got a little bit more to go. I'm gonna go through the others two pretty quickly, just because we've kind of talked about the differences in models from Canon of the different types of cameras, and a lot of that applies also to Nikon and Sony. So we carry Nikon's full line of cameras and lenses. Nikon is on their Z line for the mirrorless stuff. Their kind of intro camera is the Z50, which is right here in front of me. They just came out with this recently. It has a lot of the technology that's in their flagship stuff, their Z9 and their Z8. So if you want kind of a crop camera with a lot of the best technology in it, really good layout, feels really comfortable in your hands, then that is the camera for you, especially if you're a beginner. It's a great little camera. They also have kind of a vlogger series here with the V30. I'm sorry, Z30. It doesn't have a viewfinder, but most of the people who are shooting the video are either attaching a monitor or using the back screen, so not a big deal. Nikon did a great job of introducing some retro-looking cameras. They first came out with this ZFC, which is a crop camera that's modeled off the old Nikon FM2. So if it looks familiar, you may have had a version of it in your camera bag some time ago. It's a great little camera. They followed that up with the ZF, which is here on the top. Same kind of body style where it's very clicky. It has dials, like an ISO dial and a shutter dial on the top. I personally own this camera. I think it's one of the best cameras that I've ever had. Like I said, it has a lot of the technology in the higher end stuff, but in kind of a retro style package. I personally want my photography shooting experience to be a full experience. I need my camera to look as good as my photos will look. So I ended up purchasing that. I attached a Voigtlander manual focus lens over on there, which has the contact points on the back of it so it can read all the data, which is pretty cool. We're also going to do a quick look over here at Sony. Same kind of deal. Sony has,
Chris, can I
yes,
ask a question?
absolutely,
Is
John.
the Z5 in the new Z5 in yet?
Oh, so the Z5 II was announced about a week ago. So the embargo date is a little later this month, I believe. So we
Okay.
haven't gotten them quite in yet, but we have a fantastic relationship with Nikon, and in most recent years have not had to really wait for any models. So on the day that it's supposed to ship out, I expect to have them in stock. Um, don't quote me on that, but that's what historically over since I've been running the store, they've been ready to go. So
Okay,
hopefully,
thanks.
even with the tariffs, we'll have them. We're also probably going to have a demo day. Usually, whenever we have a new product, we do a demo day. So the Nikon rep will come in and he'll show off whatever's new, and people can come in and get their hands on that. So if you have shopped with us before, you get our Thursday emails where we talk about all the events and the things coming up. So keep an eye out for that.
Will do.
All right. Back over to Sony. These are all their full frame models. These guys, they're crop frame models. They have a lot of different types of cameras. Sony is a very, very good at hybrid cameras. And when I say that, I mean good at both photo and video. So regardless of what camera you're picking, it's going to have really good both. There are cameras on the Sony side that are designed to do different things better than maybe some other stuff. Um, but at the base, they're all good at kind of everything, to be honest. Um, for their full frame stuff, there is a couple of different categories. So in the beginning, they had the A7 series. And from the A7, they made a number of cameras. They're on their fourth right now. And then they made the A7S, which is more sensitive to light. So it's better in low light and had a lot more video features. They also made the A7R. The R had higher resolution. That's the R. So you have a larger file size. They're on the 60 megapixels for some of those. And then the A7 had the best of both worlds. So it has kind of like middle ground, but still good middle ground megapixels, but still good low light performance. A lot of video features, a lot of photo features. So there's a camera for every situation. They also made a compact version of the R and the 7, the regular 7, the A7C, C for compact. There's a version 2 out now for that one. And there's also the A7CR, which is a high resolution, kind of smaller package camera if you don't like that full size, full frame body. They also have a number of really good vlogger cameras. If you like something small, you can fit in your pocket that shoots really good video. They have a whole bunch of models, the ZV line of models. Sony also makes really good cinema cameras. They make small cinema cameras. So I'm going to show you up on the top here. They have the FX3 and the FX30. One's a crop, one's a full frame. The FX3 has better low light performance, but everything else is kind of the same. And they also have the FX6. FX6, sorry about the glare, but there's lots of lights on here. The FX6 is a real like cinema style camera. It has a lot more inputs and things that you could change pretty quickly all on the outside of the body. The FX3 was actually recently used in Hollywood to shoot the movie The Creator, which came out in theaters. So these cameras are, approved to shoot movies. They're approved for Netflix. They're really high quality, good cameras. Um, Sony also has the largest roadmap of lenses. So they have all the lenses in there, and then all the lenses in there, and then all the lenses in there. Sony's been doing mirrorless really well the longest from the group. Canon and Nikon saw that Sony was doing so well that they stopped making DSLRs and they went completely mirrorless. Um, so they're really fantastic cameras. I'm gonna swing around. Oh wow, it's doing a good job of following me. To Panasonic here. Panasonic makes really good cameras, especially the last couple of years. They've really upgraded their autofocusing capabilities. More people are using these to shoot video these days. A lot of content people are using them as kind of their primary video cameras. So they have both full frame 35 millimeter sensors, and they also have micro four thirds sensors. Micro four thirds is a 2x crop. It's a very tiny one. If you've ever shot Olympus in the past, they also have micro four thirds. Their lenses are interchangeable with Panasonic's micro four thirds lenses. So if you buy one and then you change camera systems between the two of those, you can keep your lenses, which is pretty cool. We are not selling Olympus here anymore, as they are now OM systems, and since they changed hands a couple of years back, we just really haven't carried them here. Not to say that they aren't great cameras, but we don't really carry them so much anymore. The last one that I wanted to show you before I get to our film section is Hasselblad. We've just started carrying Hasselblad in the last month, which was very exciting for me because I've been asking for it for 5.5 years. Hasselblad is, in my opinion, the most beautiful cameras. So this is a Hasselblad 100 megapixel camera. It is the largest resolution that we have in a body here. It's tied with the Fujifilm GFX 100. It is a modular system that is meant to be used with the old Hasselblad 500 and 200 series bodies. So if you're looking at this here, this is the lens, this is the back, and this little sliver right here is the body. So I'll show you. I'll take off the lens, and I'll take off the back, and this is the body of the camera. That's how small it is. It's all right here, which is so impressive. This you can attach on. I recently sold my Hasselblad, but I got to play around with this for a little bit. And it's so fun taking a 120 back off of an old Hasselblad and putting this on there, because you do get really, really beautiful pictures, because the Hasselblad color is just so rich. It's the closest thing that you can really get to film cameras these days. So if you're in the area and you happen to stop in the store, ask to see this, because it's a beauty. It has this nice little tilt screen, so if you like having that waist level viewfinder, they have this beautiful screen on the back. It's got a great shutter sound to it. It's really great. It's also about $10,000 just for the body, so not cheap, but fantastic. And we carry their lens line too. We can also special order their H series and the other X series models from Hasselblad if you're familiar with those. Hasselblad's actually right over in New Jersey, so as long as they have it in stock, we can get it to you in a couple of days. In addition to all of the new stuff that we have in store, we also sell a variety of used gear. So if you're looking to save a little bit of money, we have a whole section of Canon, Fuji, Panasonic, Nikon, and Sony used lenses and bodies. We test all of the bodies here. They're traded in by folks like you who are looking to maybe move up to a new system. Or maybe they're just trying to offload some older gear. We test everything, and then we can either do credit on your account. If you're looking to buy something new, we can do a check. We also not only have digital bodies, but we carry film cameras too. In the case there, you'll see we have a nice Mamiya. There's contacts, an old Rolleiflex. We carry a whole bunch of lenses. We taken Polaroid cameras. Sorry that I'm kind of crouching while I'm doing this. We have 35 millimeter cameras. We have 4x5. We even have an 8x10. We have it all here. We even offer some rarer stuff. So this guy here, you guys can see that. This is a Canon Hansa. Canon made this about 90 years ago. And on this Canon body, there is a Nikon lens. Nikon's first foray into photography was actually making lenses for Canon. So it's very rare to see a Canon body with a Nikon lens. This camera is about $10,000. We have over here this little tiny guy kind of in the back there. I'm going to actually pull it out. I'm going to swing around. I'll be right back. Hi, everyone. All right. Cool. There I am. And there we go. So, one of our rarest in the case here is this. Oh, subject lost. That's not fair. Flip it around. There we go. All right. Is this little LaFleur? Everyone can see me, right? Okay, good. I can't see my computer screen right now. So this is a little over 100 years old. It takes a special type of cut 35 millimeter film. It was made in France a very, very long time ago. This is their number 345 that they made. This little tiny camera goes for about $15,000. It's incredibly rare to find it in this condition. If you can cut the film down, it still works. It's a really impressive, beautiful camera that I hope we find a home for soon. Speaking of beautiful film cameras, this year, in 2025, Rollei put out a new film camera. Let me just flip you guys around a little bit. Can everyone hear me all right? Yes, okay, good. So, if you're familiar with Rollei, Rollei made Rolleiflex. They made a whole bunch of different types of cameras. And a long time ago, they made a Rollei 35, which looked exactly like this. Some of you are nodding your heads in recognition of the Rollei 35. They made a new version of this year. This is a new film camera in 2025. What's different from this is it no longer has the old school manual focus lens. What it has is in this little box here is it shoots, there's a piece of plastic on it, but when you half press down to autofocus, it shoots out a laser. It has LiDAR technology in it. So in the newer cars on the road, there's accident avoidance. There's detection to show if a car is next to you. Those are all little lasers that the car is shooting out to detect the things. So what you do is you half press, shoots out a laser, measures the distance, sets the autofocus. So this is an autofocus with LiDAR autofocus. You can do all automatic. You can set the aperture. You can set the shutter speed. You could do a shutter priority. This is a fully customizable 35 millimeter film camera. These run about $800. I bought one as soon as it came out because I was like, this is beautiful, and it takes really good pictures. This is a glass lens in here. It's not plastic. It has a nice kind of like little metal body here. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a really good time shooting it.
Those
And
were also made along with Mint, who makes those Polaroids, right?
yes, Mint owns the rights to Rollei now. They've actually made a number of those cameras. This is the first one that we've carried in a while. They had made a TLR, like the twin lens reflex cameras from back in the day. They also made a Polaroid, like you said. We don't really carry all of those, but this one looked like it was going to be very popular. And we've actually sold a handful since the beginning of the year when we first started getting them in. I bought the first one. You snooze, you lose, right, guys? So hopefully more people come in and they keep buying those because they're really great cameras and they take a really sharp image. I'm going to skip Fuji, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Um, the last thing, we do sell Tamron lenses. Tamron is a third-party lens brand. They make lenses mostly for Sony, but now for Canon RF, as well as Nikon. They're really good, affordable lenses. If you want a similar lens to Sony, but maybe you want to pay a third of the price, then I would check out Tamron. They got a good selection there. We also really, when we first opened up, Lucas and I, who run the store, wanted to offer a wide variety of books. So if you come into our store, we have a great selection of photo books from famous photographers like Walker Evans and Diane Arbus and Dan Golden and William Eggleston, and even local artists like Nick Pedra, who works in our lab, like Mike Froyo, who's a teacher at Drexel. We carried Jeffrey Stockbridge's book, Kensington Blues, and Andrea Modica's book on a recent work on 8x10 photographs. A little bit of everything. Really good modern artists and some classic stuff. So if you want to start collecting books and go down that rabbit hole, you should come check out our really good selection here. The last area is going to be our front desk here, our concierge. You'll always find somebody up here to help you out if you need a filter or the right memory card for what you need, but also our film selection. Like I said earlier, we are the largest film distributor in the country because of old Bernard Sweetwood. We really set the tone with Kodak and Fujifilm. We're also one of the largest suppliers of Cinestill and Flick film, as well as Wolfen film as well, one of the new ones. And that's it for the tour. The reason why I said I was gonna skip Fujifilm is this is news really to anyone. It's actually not even public knowledge. Is as of tomorrow, really, I won't work at this store anymore. I just took a job working for Fujifilm, which I'm very excited. So you guys are some of the first people to hear that. My team doesn't even know that yet. Don't tell them. But I will. Only a handful of people really know. So I'm very excited and kind of emotional about it because it's news as of today. So what I'd like to do is I'd like, once I have the gear, to come there in person and give you a presentation on Fujifilm. So I see Michael nodding, so that sounds great. So, so I'll skip that for now. And I know we're a little past 8, but I wanted to open up for questions for anyone who has questions for me about myself or about the store or anything like that.
Yeah,
I have a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, Chris, very effective use of your little camera.
Yeah.
Being in the store many times, you've shown tonight on Zoom things I've never even thought to look at, and I'll keep that in mind next time I'm there. And really good luck to you, and thank you very much for doing this for us tonight.
I really appreciate that. I'm very excited about the next step. I'm sure my team will do a great job of servicing you guys and anything that you need. I'll make sure I share my new contact information with Mr. Silverman, and that way, if you guys need something or you have questions about Fujifilm, that you'd be able to ask me. And Janoris, you had a question too?
Yeah, I had a friend who told me once that you guys had a rent to own program. I was wondering if that does exist.
Yes, that's a great
To
question.
your film cameras.
It doesn't apply to the film cameras because we don't rent those. We only rent digital stuff. So it would apply to the things that are on that rental page that I showed you earlier in the presentation. So say that you rent that and you rent it a couple times. Maybe you do it, you can do it up to 5 times within a 90-day period. And then you decide that you want to buy it new. Half of each of those rentals, let's say you spend $100 each time, half of each of those you can get as credit towards the purchase of it new. It's an incentive really to make sure that you're sure of your purchase. And that way you get the credit. It's a little bit off. You get a little bit back for your rental and you feel better about that purchase. So yeah, not film stuff, but I wish. Any other questions, folks? All right.
It's just amazing.
Could I ask one quick question?
Yes, John, go ahead.
Chris, do you carry the Canon 310 printer?
The Canon 310 printer, I would have to check on that. I didn't really go over the printer stuff, but we do carry Canon's full line of printers. We also have like media paper. So if you ever do like a photo booth, we carried Hi-Tie and DMP and a couple others. But for printer stuff, I'd have to check on that. If you want to put that in the comments, I could follow up with you. You put your email on there, I can email you too.
Hey, Chris, you do have that in the store. I've seen it in the store. The
Michael knows well. Look at
yeah.
him.
Okay,
Here he
Michael.
said he wasn't being observant when he was here before, but there he is.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Yeah, the perks of over 200,000 products and services is I don't remember all of them. Uh, but now, hopefully, in the new job,
Yeah.
smaller window and I'll know it. Like the back of my hand. Eileen, you were saying something?
Yes, because it's an incredible presentation.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's been a very rough year for me. And so I really haven't been able to get out, to get to stores, to look at things. And this was like a treat.
Well,
It,
that's
it,
great to
it was
hear.
like, it just, I didn't have to do the steps.
Yeah.
And,
I'm
and
I'm at
I,
12,000 for the day, so I did them for you.
but your presentation was just so well planned and so beautiful
Thank you.
that it was just an amazing uh, way of looking at how to do a presentation of a place.
Yeah,
It was just amazing. You really you just really did an excellent job, and I
thank you
really
so
thank
much.
you so much.
When Michael approached me about doing this, I wasn't sure how I was going to talk about stuff. And I thought the best way would be to show you, as I know some of you now have been here before, but maybe you haven't gotten the full in-depth thing. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That's nice to hear.
And tons of luck in your new venture.
Thank you. Mum's the word
Mm.
until, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
great
I have one more
presentation.
question if I can be annoying again.
Sure, go ahead.
Question for the future when you come back from the other side.
Yes.
I heard that allegedly Fuji's looking into producing film again because right now, currently, their film is just repackaged Kodak, is my understanding.
Yeah, more or less.
So
You
once
know,
you're on I would like to know whether or not that's true.
next time you talk to me, I'm gonna have more information about that, I imagine. But as of right now, I don't know anything about that. Usually, when the public hears about that kind of thing, that's when I hear about it. So, like when a new product comes out, I'm hearing about it the same day that you guys are. So it's a scramble before people start calling to do pre-orders to learn all of the stuff and kind of go through the spec sheets and watch videos and rely a little bit on the people who maybe got the earlier models, but us here in the retail environment, we don't know those things until you guys know them really. So hopefully they do, because everyone misses Provia and Velvia. I would love to see 400H come back. That would be a dream. But as of right now, it's going to be just the Fuji 400 and 200, which is mostly in either the singles or the three packs, and that's through Kodak technically right now. All right. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so
there's some
much.
beautiful comments in the comment
Oh,
section.
good. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
People
Will
really.
will I have access to see the comments after the meeting is over?
Yeah, we can save the chat box for you.
Perfect. Yeah, if you could share that with me, that way I can follow up with you guys.
Well, basically, it's saying, because I'm recording the thing, it's saying that who can see your message? It says recording on. So we'll probably get a separate text file with the comments.
Excellent. Is this going to go up on YouTube today?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Well, I would say don't post it quite
No. I mean,
yet.
no. The president of the Photographic Society is now 80 years old.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could share that with me, I'd love to watch myself and do a little bit of note taking on where maybe I can improve.
We will definitely send you the link. Yes.
Wonderful.
It won't be super fast.
Okay, yeah, take your time.
Could share with Mike a email, because if you're leaving Unique and going someplace else, if there's a way we can
Yeah,
comments you and also send, like, for example, the link to this video, even the raw version.
absolutely. I'll
Um,
make sure that Michael gets my new email, and that way, you could share things there too.
and Michael's very good at sharing.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. Well, thank you so much for having me and for allowing me to present and show off our store. If you got questions, I'm here for you, and feel free to give us a call and chat if you need advice or stop by. Come put your feet on these floors and get your hands on some stuff and do some learning. Make sure you take some of our classes and expand your horizons. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll leave a
And
meeting going, or we'll leave meeting going, but I'm going to share the screen so we'll see what next meeting is. And you should see the, what do you call it?
we see it.
Okay.
Yes, to see it. Thanks,
We
Steve.
see it. Ted Lieberman. It's his work is excellent. Really, mark your calendar, May 20th. Don't miss this one. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, everybody, I guess we can get
Say
ready
good
to
night.
close. Yeah. Really, Chris, great presentation. Thanks so much. And thanks so much to everybody who attended. That's what keeps the organization going. Really appreciate everybody hanging in there with us and making this a good organization. So, everybody ready?
Ready?
Well,
No, not yet.
be safe.
Somebody want to say something?
No,
Okay. Going once, going twice. See you guys.